How many people are so good at making comments that they can make a comment on one show and then get it highlighted on another show in the CrossFit space? There's only one person that fits that description, and we have him here every Wednesday because it's Cajun Wednesday, people. Let's go.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Lunch with the Clydesdale. You know it's Cajun Wednesday when we've got Cory Leonard in the house. What's going on?
What's up, brother? That was the most interesting, probably accurate introduction I've ever had in my entire life. I love it.
I love it, man. Yeah, I'm trying this new thing with like a cold open into the theme song.
I like it.
I read some stuff that, like, if you don't grab the audience in the first couple minutes or seconds, even, like, you've lost them. And if I play the same theme song, I'm not like doing anything to grab the audience right off. So the cold open is to grab the audience quickly and then go into whatever. It's just going to be a challenge coming up with something creative every day to throw into that cold open.
You got to have something ready to rock.
Yeah. And then, and the other thing it did is one of our loyal listeners, Jody Lynn, hated the beeps at the beginning of the old intro.
Oh yeah, the beep, yeah,
the 3, 2, 1 beep. She hated that because she would listen with earbuds in and it would blow her eardrums out. So because she's such a loyal listener and so cool in the chat, awesome, that I got rid of that just for her.
Jody is awesome. That is a fact. I like it, dude. I like it. Mess around with new stuff. Either do new stuff or you stay stagnant, stay in the same spot. Nobody wants that.
So Sean in Oregon, I'm going to talk to you during this show, just so you know. Maybe pause 5 seconds before you do your cold open because we got to skip that ad. It appears right before when you go live. Here's the problem. That lives forever on the internet once it's done. And I don't want it to be 5 seconds of me just staring in the camera going, duh.
And just going.
And then again, for those people who don't have to sit through the ads and have a paid YouTube premium, then I've lost that audience because I'm not grabbing them in the first couple seconds.
Because that first 5 seconds of silence is 5 seconds of eternity. Like, because especially on this end of it, where you're just sitting there going,
yeah, I look like an idiot. How do I get out of this?
The whole thing is insane.
Yeah.
Oh.
Lots of people working out today during the show. We got Megan doing a thing. We got Train Olive doing some accessory work. And look at Jody. Yes, I've been meaning to thank you so much for getting rid of the beeps. See, I'm here for you.
Every day.
The audience. I take constructive criticism.
100%. Unlike other people in the space.
So there it is. Chris Beesterfield just did 30 wall walks. Why you would do that, I have no idea, but good on you. Good on you.
I did. Chris, are you mad at yourself? Like, what is that, dude?
Just did 4 rounds of 100-foot farmer's carry, 5 devil press, 5 30-inch box jump, 30 seconds wall sit, 50-pound dumbbell.
Grunt work.
There you go. People getting it done.
Love to see it.
I started watching that new Jimmy Fallon show called On Brand, where he brings these people in. They get to pitch a marketing plan to like a major company. And one of them was Dunkin' Donuts. And the one ad was so cool. because they want to be known for more than just donuts and coffee.
Okay.
They want to know they have like breakfast sandwiches and stuff like that. And honestly, like if you're out there looking for a healthy alternative at times, they have like egg white flatbreads and things that other like fast foods don't have. But the one guy pitched, it's where doers get things done. And it was making a little box that looks like an old fashioned lunch pail. And they put like your sandwich, your potatoes, whatever in there, and then box it up like a lunch pail and hand it out. And then the marketing would go beyond that because they'd take it into work. There's a little box sitting on their desk and people would be like, what the heck's that? Right. So
Where'd you get that from?
yeah, it was pretty cool.
I like that idea. I like that idea a lot.
Kenneth
So,
says
Travis-
local breakfast spots. I do. I work from home, so I go to my fridge.
Yeah, that's my local breakfast spot too.
Yeah,
Starts in my fridge, goes to my stove, coffee pot, and toaster.
Yeah. Corey's showing off the guns.
Corey's trying to stretch out his back of his neck and all of this stuff.
So
just
the cold open today was about you commenting, and people who've known you a long time. You are in so many chats doing your thing, and most of the time it is very comical. You come up with great puns. You come up with different things like that. Last week you were in Glinton Things. Our friend Hattie Canio was on. You made a comment that she friend zoned Triston Patrick, and that made the rounds.
Apparently.
What's that feeling when you turn on like dense updates?
That's exactly what I did. I turned on Den's updates yesterday morning, and that's the whatever one it was from whatever day. I don't know what day. I don't know if she does them daily, however often she does them, but whatever Jenny's show was, and all of a sudden, dead in the middle of it, it's me, and I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Here's the thing, is that I don't know. I feel like they took it like I was trying to say that, or making a joke about Triston and Hattie being a thing. But I was more saying that Triston got friend zoned in like as a coach.
Right. I got it. That's what I got.
I'm sure you did. But like, even Hattie's going like, for a second she was not offended, I don't think, but he never sniffed or whatever she said. And I'm like, no, that's not what I meant. And then I just let it roll. But the fact that I made one of Jenny's dense updates is fucking hilarious. That's good shit.
I just watched Dense Up last night. I felt so proud of Corey making an impact. Yeah. We all have our cross to bear. Daniel Church, the most running Corey does is his mouth.
I will outrun your weightlifting ass any day of the week, Daniel. Whenever you're ready, my brother. Whenever you're ready. Good luck this weekend, by the way.
Is that Legion of Doom or Road Warriors in the thumbnail? I confuse them. That is Road Warriors. What I find amusing is I put all this work into doing characters of Corey and I every week. He never looks until somebody brings it up in the comments, and then he'll go look to see what happened.
That's 100% what happened. I don't ever see the thumbnails, dude. Like I get a notification that the show's about to happen. I'm like, cool. I don't get on YouTube much, or I don't get thumbnails much beyond that. Or like if I'm sitting there watching Greg on Savon this morning, and then 30 minutes out, I get that notification, and then I might see it. And then that's still a maybe because I'm usually popping in and out between actually doing work and then doing this.
Yeah, so we are the Road Warriors today.
Nice.
Yeah, old school wrestling. It's kind of been my theme for the week.
I love it. I hope Travis pops in today. I got my hat that's actually got a bend in the brim in it for him specifically.
You take constructive criticism as well?
Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, nice. I do.
Chris says work.
Yeah, work, Chris.
Yeah. God, man, today's been like all meetings all day. And, that just makes grumpy Scott.
I understand. My wife texted me this morning. I saw that she set the house alarm. She usually works from home. She usually goes to the office maybe once a week, sometimes twice. She called me and said, so I had to go to the office today. And I was like, it's like randomly out of the blue. I said, why? She said, I just wanted to get out of the house. She said, I still have the same thing you got, meetings that she's going to be on her computer all day long. It's not in-person meetings. It's all online shit. I'm just going to be in meetings all day long. I just wanted to get out of the house. And I was like, okay. And she picked up one day of the week, the second day of the week, that the fog's been so thick that all travel around here has been absolutely a nightmare. To the point where I almost got run over on my bicycle yesterday morning about 3 different times in my neighborhood from people just driving in the middle of the road because it's foggy and it's 6 o'clock in the morning. It's absolutely insane. I don't recommend it.
Here's the thing that gets me is they called back like a good chunk of our workforce, right? And so we're in these meetings and we didn't have a lot of space. And because the governor made this mandate that people had to go back to work, the spaces got way more expensive. So they're cramming people in where they can to get as many people back to work as possible. So you're right on top of each other. So every meeting sounds like a 1-900 sex line because everybody's talking. Yes. I'm looking at the report and I think it's every single one.
That's hilarious. But it's like, you're on a microphone, right? It's okay. You can just speak like you normally would anywhere else.
Yeah. It's one of the side effects of going back to work in limited space. And they don't even have conference rooms because they used them up for like office space.
Somebody's looking at buying the building that we're in right now. Talking about that. No, they came over Monday, or Todd told us, my boss told us Friday, Wednesday, or Thursday or Friday last week, hey, people are coming to look at the buying the building. They're going to be here around 1 o'clock on Monday afternoon, it's Monday afternoon. All right, cool. Well, everybody promptly forgot about that, to the point where I walked out of my office to go do something, and there was 5 random people standing in our kitchen area, and they scared the ever-living shit out of me because that just never happens. And they just, oh, hi, how are you? And they're just sitting there talking about buzzwords. I don't know. They were using synergy and shit like that. It was wild.
SEMA, they called us back to work. So called us back into the office, and Trump canceled the remodel halfway through. Empty room looks like the Severance show. I've not seen Severance.
I haven't either, but I've heard it's fantastic.
I have too. I've got to figure that out.
I like old boy Derek. The
young kids don't remember those commercials that were on after dark.
Looking for someone to talk to? Down 1-900, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I'm laughing about that now because, like, obviously those things don't exist anymore, right?
Right.
But, like, this morning, I'm coaching at 5 a.m. and girls going wild. Not quite, Clark. Anyway, I'm coaching at 5 a.m. this morning, and one of the guys, him and his wife usually come at 5. They come separately because he's got to leave to go to work. Anyway, I said, is Courtney coming this morning? He said, let me go check. He said she was at a JV game until 10 o'clock last night. I said, 10 o'clock? Like on purpose at night? And it dawned on me that at 48 years old, if you'd have told me 10 years ago, 11 years ago, that I would have thought 10 o'clock was absolutely too late to be outside of my home at any given point, I'd have told you was out of your mind. But yeah, I said, dude, at 10 o'clock, I had been asleep for an hour at least.
Yeah.
She was out there at the JV game, which that's going to come around. My time's going to come out for that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
My little one is.
You're like me, man. You have kids later in life, and then you have to stay up way longer than
Dude, if it was up to Jameson, the maniac 7-year-old that lives in our house, she would be up till 9:30, 10 o'clock every night.
Train Olive, if I'm not in bed before 10, it's a bad day.
Same.
Frida, I have a similar situation. It ended with bosses discussioning a schedule for on-site work. Wow. Yeah, scheduling people in so that, yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah, I don't do. If I see 10 o'clock at night, it's because I was watching something on TV. I wanted to finish it. And it's a weekend. Like, I don't have to get up at 5 o'clock the next morning, 4:30, whatever.
Rob Guillory, it's a freaking phenomenal show. That's Severance. So what happened, Ron, is everybody recommended Severance to me, and I had just canceled Apple.
You can call him Ron. It's fine. That's one of my best friends in the whole world, dude. You can call him whatever you want. Don't worry about him.
And so what we've been trying to like turn on and off different streaming services so we're not paying for them all the time. Yep. And so we'll let it build up on Apple, and then we'll go back and check those out. And while I cancel a couple other things. So that's where it's at. It's on my list, just like Task. I just haven't had time to get into Task.
Same. I feel like this. Like, I was watching Reacher from the first season. I had made it literally to the season finale of season 2. Turned it on the other night. Watched the season finale of season 2, and then like the first 3 episodes of season 3. And then that's just where I'm stuck at now. Like, I might watch another one tonight or tomorrow night, something like that.
Yeah, I think season 3. Gosh, it was good. It all kind of runs together now, but yeah.
If you've ever read the books, it's why. Like, or read the description of why he wrote Reacher the way he wrote him. They're supposed to be like that, where it's like giant dude comes in, gets in a situation he's not supposed to be in. He has no past, or people don't see that he does or whatever. He goes in, wrecks shop, takes care of shit, and then goes on to the next town. Like, that's how all the books are, but they're really, really well written. So there's that. Mr. David Johnston, yes, Black Rabbit. I watched the first episode of that the other night as well. Holy shit, that's good.
Okay. Well, shows are just because I'm in the middle of Tulsa King right now. That's my number 1. And then and it had a nice twist for season 3. So that's what I'm and High Potential's back. Those are my two big shows.
The other problem I have is that the stuff that I want to watch, or that my wife wants to watch, that we can watch together, this is what ends up happening. We'll watch half an episode before she falls asleep on the couch. I'll watch that rest of that episode and the next one, and then I'll either lose interest or, like, we got 43 things to do. She'll have free time at home, watch 8 episodes in a row, and then ask me, "Oh, you want to watch whatever it is, Black Rabbit or Tulsa King is another one. What's the other one with Jeremy Renner?
Yeah,
the Mayor of Kingstown.
Mayor of Kingstown.
And then she'll be like 6 episodes ahead of me. She's like, "Well, this is where I'm at." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, but I'm not." Like, Black Rabbit's good.
Dan Church, I haven't seen a TV show since 2020. Yeah. I had a period where I didn't see much. When my daughter was small, we didn't watch anything.
No.
But anyway, Jay Burgess, Stallone and Informant. See, that would be the typical way you would think it was going, and it's actually a little bit different than that. And that's what makes this a little bit more interesting.
That's another one.
And that's still developing, so I don't want to spoil it for people as it's being released every week.
I made the first 2 episodes of the first season of Tulsa King, and I was like, "This is really cool." And then we got distracted with something else. I think maybe Yellowstone has started back up, and we watched it. We jumped back into that.
Not a fan of Tyler Sheridan. I just don't get it, man. Tulsa King's freaking awesome. It twists every time you think it's going one way, it goes another. And Landman is one of my favorites. And I'll admit, like, Yellowstone had me up and down through its series, but I'm a pretty big fan of Sheridan, actually.
Yellowstone went really, really well right up until the very end, because I don't think he knew how to end it, which is why it's getting 17 different spinoffs. Because that's how it comes across to me, like, as somebody's watching it. It's like, oh, I don't know exactly what to do, so I'm just going to make this convoluted kind of ending where this happens, and then him and Kevin Costner having beef or whatever the problem would be, so they just killed him off.
Well, I don't think they intended to end it until the beef.
Yeah.
Then when the beef happened, they had to end it, and
right.
So
Costner was like, "I'm not doing this anymore." But up until then, like, it would have an episode every once in a while where you're like, "This is a filler episode. This is when they just shot just to have some kind of. It has nothing to do with what's going on, whatever." But no, we watched every single one of those right up until the end.
Yeah. So anyway, and enough about TV. I do want to make a quick correction from Monday's show based on comments that I got on the YouTube, and that is Sean in Oregon made a comment, and Hiller agreed with the comment. So I just want to address it. We were talking about podcasts and the CrossFit podcast missing something, and I said that in this genre, or in this space,
right,
going live is better for that, because blah blah blah. And I want to correct that, because when you're thinking on your feet, sometimes you forget details as you're responding. You can do a pre-recorded podcast or show or content in this space and be successful. Hiller, for one, is very good at it, right?
His newest video was amazing.
And Rich Froning's podcast is hugely successful the way that is. But here's what the piece that CrossFit is missing in their podcast. Those two have been authentic since the day they were born.
Yeah.
Right. And everybody trusts and believes in what they're saying because they have been themselves the entire time. CrossFit has not.
Correct.
And when you're trying to do a polished, recorded video that you see cuts in, it adds to distrust from the audience that already doesn't trust you.
Yeah, you didn't have their trust to begin with, and now you're putting out something that looks slick, that looks polished, that looks like it might be a little, I don't want to say bait and switch, but I don't know a better word to put it. Like you're not really getting what you're asking for. So yeah, no, I would 100% agree to that.
And Sean also made the comments that the problem with it is it's just OG CrossFitters talking to OG CrossFitters, and that's turning some people off. And while I get to some point, and here's another thing that I was thinking in my head as it was going on. Denise Thomas, I have seen her speak live, and I've seen her on the podcast. Her personality is not coming through on the podcast. If you see her speak live, she is absolutely dynamic. She is a great storyteller. She is funny. She is awesome. When you go to the podcast and it's recorded and it's polished, you lose all of Denise in that. So to me, that loses authenticity, because I have seen her speak live. I have seen how she is. And then on that podcast, I'm not getting any of that.
Well, no, and you're sitting there going, you're better than this. Why are you doing this like this?
Right. And she's great at the ad lib too. So I think she would be great in a live setting and bring more of that dynamic personality that she has. I think adding Hobart has been a good move. I think people trust Hobart.
It's hard not to trust.
Things to it. I think the nutritionist that they have brought on is awesome. And I really do enjoy her. When they did the GLP-1 podcast with her and Dr. McCoy and all of those people, I thought it was awesome. I was completely engaged. And so that's where I was responding from when I thought I think they need to go live.
Yeah.
I think they need to be pushed out of their comfort zone and back into a setting where people can start trusting them.
Even if you just go live once a week, like it doesn't even have, like you can still put out your recorded content. That's perfectly fine, but at least go live once a week so that so people know that the conversation is real. Because, hey, it's happening right now. We are talking about this right now. We're not going to go back and cut and look and see and say, oh, this, well, pull that out. I don't like this, put it in, whatever. You let people know that these conversations that we're having are actually real. I'm not saying that they're not, but when they come back slickly produced like that and with cuts and whatnot, then that's where the problem lies. It's got people go, well, what were they actually saying? What were they actually talking about? Because we could cut up this conversation right now and make it sound like we're talking about all kinds of craziness. Right. But people know that we're just having a talk. So yeah, I would 100% agree. At least give it once a week.
Yeah, we could cut this up and I can have you saying that you're an informant for Triston in his friend zone of Hattie and why
it wouldn't be that hard to do.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be that hard to do.
Sean in Oregon, I want the CrossFit podcast to succeed, but Denise hasn't been good. Her questions are very interesting, aren't very interesting, so I tuned out. That's exactly what I'm saying. If you've seen Denise talk live, it's completely different. Completely different. Hobart has been a good ad, and the GLP-1 podcast seemed to be a great turning point. Great content and perspectives on a timely topic. The CrossFit podcast seems more like an infomercial. The Very Not Random podcast with Pat Sherwood and Boz is way better at getting people interested in CrossFit. I just wish they'd look in the camera. That bugs me on that one. And I don't know why it bugs me. It's just probably because I'm old and stuck in my way.
They look like they're looking at each other. But like as if I was doing this and looking at you, like that's how I'm not a big fan of it.
It makes me feel like you're more interested in what's on your screen than talking to me.
Yes. Weird.
That's I feel like people think I shouldn't be in the space, so I understand how the old guard rubs the new people the wrong way. They think no one knows CrossFit like they do. Okay. She might be one of those that can't perform with the script. Yeah, I cannot perform with the script. You give me a script and I'm screwed. I'm very much that person.
Hey, look at that. Triston Patrick.
Yeah. Mr. Friend Zone himself. No, man, we love you, dude. Just so you know, you're not friend zone with me, Triston. I still think
to his credit, he was still in the chat whenever I said that, and he was like, and he found it to be hilarious. And he wishes Hattie nothing but the best, and said they had a good run, which they damn sure did.
They did. Yeah. I don't think Triston gets enough credit for what he's done.
Not at all. Not at all. Not even close.
Kelly Baker, a lifelong team athlete, and get her to an individual CrossFit Games and be a disruptor at that Games. A disruptor, major disruptor. 100%. And then get Hattie, who had been trying to get to the Games. I think the miles he got out of that have been amazing.
100%.
I always ask him this question: are you better at building the diamond, or are you better at polishing the diamond? I've asked him that question a couple times at different phases of his career.
Yeah. That is an excellent question. I like that a lot. Are you better at building it or polishing it? You building it better at putting the base down or bringing out what's there?
Yeah.
Dude, I like that question a lot.
Yeah. It's in the doc.
That's fantastic.
And And he said if he needs anything to help finish it off, we may need to revisit that question before I release it.
He just need a video of him doing like this and going, I just got friend zoned.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Triston. You know I love you.
Well, this year he just takes Jacob to the games, man.
I hope so, dude. Marlo's awesome. He's come to he was at least one Southland camp that we have. And he's a good dude, genuinely. Humble as shit, works his ass off. Like, Jacob's a good dude. I hope he makes it. I really do.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's, you know, I've had these conversations with Kotler too. Like, athletes come and go.
Yeah.
And you just do your best with who you got, and you just keep putting in the work, man. Just keep putting in the work, and it'll pay off.
I mean, to Triston's credit, I think it has, right? Just from the couple examples that you just gave, or just seeing like Jacob's growth over the past couple of years, you just getting closer and closer and closer every single time. It's not an overnight process by any stretch of the imagination, especially when you consider what you got to work with to start off with.
Also, if I get labeled as the guy who makes people games athletes, that's a title I can live with.
Right.
And at some point, every athlete you coach will fire you no matter what.
No matter what. Yeah. Yeah. It's not a forever thing unless you're Cole Sager.
Yeah.
I mean,
at that point, you just both disappear into the ether.
One on one side the country, one on the other side the country.
Yeah. So what else did I want to talk about with you today? I brought this up, and I've been thinking about it since then. The Don Faul thing at the Coaches Congress, offering the sit down with Rich, right? And then it coming out that Berkshire was at Cookeville with Froning, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, then why would Don offer a hand at the Coaches Congress if the owners, the real owners, not the CEO, but the real owners have already met with Rich? Why would then Don need to do this? And there's only two reasons. One, he's clueless and he's on his way out and someone else is coming in soon.
Right.
Because he is not on the same page with the owners. Two, it was for the optics. It was, they've been there, they've had discussions. Hey, let's make a public acknowledgement of that we are conversing now, and I'm going to do this in front of the world. Well, in front of that group. And let
is it just me, or does that sound like not a very Rich Froning thing to do?
I think it's the first.
Yeah.
I think it's that he's not on the same page with the ownership and the board, and they're going to be looking for a replacement soon.
That just doesn't seem like a very...
That we're assuming there is no sale now. Because that's where I'm at. I'm moving forward as there will not be a sale.
Who knows? Who knows? Watch. We'll get off the air, and like 10 minutes after we get off the air, be like, and, you know, whoever just bought CrossFit, say, I just don't get it.
So, and then I'm sure people saw it on Hiller's page, but Frank had made this very long statement about him meeting with Don Faul twice, and Hiller questioning, so Don Faul met with Frank twice and is now just meeting with Rich for the first time. If you don't know that comment was on our YouTube channel. That was on Monday's show. Monday's Lunch with the Clydesdale. Frank left that comment. And that is wild.
That's beyond wild. That's insane at this point. Because why? Why would you even entertain that dude? He has nothing of substance to say. We're gonna a big owners group. We're gonna buy CrossFit. No, you're not. You do not have the capital. You do not have any kind of no, you're not going to. There's no way. They're never going to give into your terms if you even know what your terms are. Which he doesn't. If you ever heard Dude talk, he has no idea what his terms actually are.
When I think Frank just found my show because he has been blowing up my Instagram and blowing up the comments and for the better part of the last 5 to 7 days. Right. So I think he just found it. And I think everybody else has blocked him in the space probably. And so he's just vomiting everything that he has onto my comment section. Which I just find wild. Because everything that he keeps saying has been proven to not completely be true. And I can't believe he's still moving forward with whatever this is. I mean, we've talked about delusion in the past on this show and where you are. I think that Frank is knee deep in the delusion.
Oh, he's way past knees. He is way past knees. His balls are wet at this point as far as the delusion is concerned. Like he is at almost hip deep at this point. Like there's no possible way, dude. Come on, bro.
I have no idea. Denise Moore, is this true?
Is this true? We need that sound.
Triston, Frank meeting with Don is actually wild. It is. I don't. And if they took Frank seriously, unless he was trying to make some kind of a bid to buy, like that.
But at that point, are you meeting with Don or are you meeting with partners? Because Don's not in charge.
They hired that company to like vet the buyers, right?
Right.
Like Frank shouldn't have got past that first gate.
No. They saw that. They would have seen that dude come and be like,
yeah. So I don't even know why the hell would Don meet with them. And in all honesty, this is a Frank comment. Do we even know that's true?
That was the first thing I thought of.
Do you even know that Don really met with Frank?
Maybe he met with a guy named Don twice. Like that's entirely possible. You know, Don Cheadle,
Don Pardo.
I mean, there's a lot of Dons he could have met with that are not the actual CEO.
We have a name for it now.
Teabag and delusion. I love it, man.
And delusion. Yep.
I love it. There's no way, dude. There's no way. It would have took 5 minutes, maybe 10 tops to get to go look at his stuff, to see where he's been tagged at, to see the comments and whatnot he's made. But when he was on Savan and freaking Hiller was just like lightning to him and whatnot, the whole video that Hiller made, just presenting all of the stuff to say, yeah, I'm not meeting with this dude.
You ever wake up from a dream and think it's true? Apparently Frank does every single day.
Frank does. That's every day.
Every day.
Don Williams. I don't even know if Don Williams is still alive. Probably not.
I don't think so.
Probably not. And having said that, he's got a better opportunity, a better chance to meet with Don Williams than I think than he does with Don Faul.
Yeah. Don Johnson.
There
we go. A little Miami Vice action there.
Oh man.
Yeah. It could have been any Don.
I mean, he just said Don. I met with Don twice.
All right. This is off CrossFit topic. We'll get back on to CrossFit in a second, but I just have to make one statement.
Oh, here we go.
About the Super Bowl halftime show. And I don't care if people hate me for this. I am not a Bad Bunny fan. Like, that is not my music. I am not Don Knotts.
Don Knotts. That's fantastic, man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Also, probably not alive.
But I could give a shit less if they let him be the halftime show of the Super Bowl. It is no skin off my back. Actually, because I'm not a fan, I can actually go get a snack and use the restroom during the Super Bowl. It is what it is. There wasn't this upheaval when J-Lo and Shakira did it.
Right.
Why now? And the fact that politicians are taking time out of their day to make statements that we should be getting Lee Greenwood because he's more appealing than Bad Bunny. You are so disconnected from the music world. Good God. Bad Bunny is massive. He was in Happy Gilmore 2. He is an actor. He was the first guest of Saturday Night Live. He is so big internationally, and the Super Bowl is not American. The Super Bowl has become a global phenomenon. It is in so many different countries. And it's a freaking halftime show. Why are our politicians wasting their damn time on a Super Bowl halftime show?
Here's my favorite part about that is that he's Puerto Rican.
Right.
Which means he's what? American.
Yes. It just boggles my mind that our politicians, I thought this when they dove into the baseball steroid stuff. That is not
congressional hearings. Congressional hearings on if
using taxpayer dollars to dive into baseball steroids.
To dive into if Mark McGwire stuck a needle in his ass. I do not care. Bruh. Winter, Miss Trent Olive. People need something to bitch about. They need to find something to bitch about. 100%.
Denise Moore on fire today. Politicians, look over here. Look over here, not at the real issues we're facing today.
Who gives a shit? I'm with you. I could not possibly care less. If I don't like who's playing, first of all, if I watch the Super Bowl, let me get that part out of the way.
Now you've lost me.
Secondly, if I watch the Super Bowl and I don't like who's playing for halftime, I will just not watch the halftime show.
Yeah.
I realize how I'm going out on a limb here and being kind of crazy with it, but holy shit, I really don't care.
I don't know that I've ever watched the halftime show. I am only at the party for the snacks anyway. Well, I got to tell you, when Dr. Dre and Eminem did the 90s hip hop one, I was all in. And I was there for every second of it. Right. Yep. There have been some great halftime shows. So there's been some really piss poor ones too.
Yeah. Like I can remember going back. Nelly halftime show was fantastic. Last year was good with Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, it's a good show.
See, for me,
I enjoyed it. I like Kendrick Lamar, so I watched it.
I'm too old for that.
It was creative. It was a cool show, right? The way the whole thing was done. And then you go back and you go back and you go back and you go back. Prince was awesome in this pouring down rain. That was fantastic.
David Johnson, best comment yet. Exactly, Denise. I'm sitting home furloughed while the elected people are up there just playing power games.
Yeah. 100%. Stupid.
Yeah.
Absolutely stupid.
And back
the
on
children with they got their toys.
I'm usually asleep by halftime these days. And I just watch it the next day.
Or you catch the highlights. Yeah. Catch the highlights right here on YouTube or on Instagram. You catch all the important stuff the next day. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah. Prince was awesome. Yes, I understand. Prince was maybe my favorite halftime show of all time. However, the Bears then went on to lose that Super Bowl. So I was devastated for a month later.
Yeah.
So anyway, back on to CrossFit real quick, I think. Oh, last thing, because we're already up. God, man, the 45 minutes flies by when you're on. Did you watch Boys Interrupted and see that they are do you think this is real? They are doing a damn it, David Johnson. Let me talk. Yeah. This one was a pretty big halftime show. I got to admit, I was much younger in those days. I had just got a TiVo, and I found out the rewind works really well.
100%.
Yeah, because I couldn't believe I'd just seen what I'd seen, and boom, rewind.
It was first of all,
rewind.
It was a great show in and of itself. And then you got another part of the show you didn't even have to pay extra for. Fantastic. Anyway, moving right along. Yes.
Oh yeah. So the hill mount, the media hill.
Yes, the media hill.
Announced. Do you think that is real? That they're truly going to do a media hill?
I hope they do. I really, really hope they do.
Jar Jar Binks. Oh, I believe it's real.
I don't think those guys are gonna make that shit up, like, and not actually do it. I really don't. So I hope they do. I hope they make graphics for it, like Spence got on the and John Young and them on the actual mountain. Like, let's do it.
So here's my thing. Like, and they can do it all they want. It is what it is. There is so much media content now around the space that I do that for the show. Like, I try to catch and watch as much as I physically can.
Yeah.
I watch so many things on 1.5 speed. It is crazy. And I know I'm not getting everything. So to do it, like, I don't think I could do it. But if they're going to do it, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Their show is a perfect example. I would love to be able to watch their show, but like most of them are an hour and a half long, and I don't have like enough time. And I'm not the guy that can listen at 1.5 speed. Like, I need to actually be listening to what they're saying. If as soon as it gets sped up, I lose it. I've tried to watch, like, get caught up on shows on 1.5 speed. Doesn't work for me.
Some people talk in a way that 1.5 speed actually makes them sound regular. And that makes it really easy. Some people talk too fast. Like, you cannot listen to James Sprague on 1.5.
No.
That just, I mean, because he's already live on 1.5.
Yeah.
So when you speed him up, it's like 3.2.
If not worse. No, he is a ball of energy. Yes, Dave Johnson.
I remember when it was just Arm & Hammer posting content and Hepner posting his crazy workouts. I do. Armin was a dude, man. We've had him on the show a couple times post retirement.
He's a great dude.
He really is. And then we got to know Chase Long, who was part of the San podcast.
Just saying, I used to laugh so hard because I would listen to that like a lot of times when I was running or walking or whatever the case, and like them just picking at each other and bringing it up in context of whatever they were talking about and whatnot. Like, that was a really, really good show. I enjoyed the shit out of Scale as Needed.
The San podcast. Well, I watched every episode. It was probably the most off the rails podcast I've ever watched in my life. And I think that was their intent.
Yeah.
You could all of a sudden go from talking about Rich Froning to Star Wars to
that's exactly what I had in my head.
They
would be talking about
a political act that had happened to, like, they were all over the place.
Yeah. To Lord of the Rings and like in the same conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, dude, that was he had a good group of guys there. Yeah, absolutely. Scale as Needed was awesome. And like whenever they so when we have open gym on the weekends, the weekends I have open gym, I'll go and I'll write open gym on the board and I'll put like some crazy caption underneath, like as seen on TV or whatnot. And I got that from listening to them making up a new thing for SAN every single week. Like whenever they would come on and be like silly as needed or, whatever, they would make up a new words for whatever SAN stood for that week. And I was like, I thought that was hilarious the entire time. So I 100% stole that from them.
San was the first podcast I really ever watched. Miss it. I do too. It had so much levity to it. And And I think that's what you and I would be if we did a 2-hour show.
Oh, 100%.
We would be all over the map. We're all over the map generally anyway.
We get easily distracted. Easily distracted.
Frida says same here. Armin was fantastic. Yeah. Megan says talking to my husband is like that. I can hardly keep up. Wadcast podcast is the OG. Hilarious and awesome guests. Yes. Yeah.
All those other episodes are still on Apple Podcasts, as far as I know. Barbell Shrugged. That was another good one.
Yeah. I lived Armin's content. Loved, maybe.
Maybe she lived it. Maybe she lived it.
Maybe she did the single rep open like Armin did because it was faster.
It's just faster.
You remember when he did that? Like he would do the open workout over and over again, trying to find the perfect strategy for himself. And then the 1 year was, well, single pull-ups was way faster than anything else.
Just going to do them one at a time. Oh,
she did mean loved, but I like lived better.
I like lived better. Follow the teachings of the Scale as Needed podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. And I got to tell you, getting to know Chase as a friend, he is like the nicest dude ever. Like he's way up there on my list of just like people that I would trust wholeheartedly. It's like Hicks from yesterday, man. That dude, I know that if I said, hey, dude, I need some help, he would be right by my side.
Hicks is that dude you call at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Because you know he's going to answer the phone. Hey, what's up? What you got?
And what's crazy about Hicks is like he would never let me brag about him on the show. But like that dude, when he was doing EMT stuff, like he did EMT for the last 5 years of his career with a SWAT team. Like he was no joke paramedic.
Oh no, I believe that. He was doing a real good job of not letting you talk too good about him yesterday. You understand?
He does not let me brag about him. What's Chase up to these days? So Chase works for C4, Sayucor. And he's the one that got us the C4 deal when we had it. And he was competing team until a year ago, maybe. He was at semifinals.
Sounds right.
For a couple of years.
I think that's right. As far as the team thing is concerned, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So he was at like Syndicate Crown a couple years with his team. And I think he's finally retired. He's got to be like 36 or 37 now.
Sounds about right.
But yeah. But yeah, yesterday Hicks and I went 45 minutes after the show went off the air.
Oh, I have no problem believing that either.
And I learned a lot. And parts of it he said I could share, but it just couldn't. I had to make sure I made it so nobody would know it came from him. So I would rather just keep it to myself for now until more stuff comes up and around. But anyway, I think is that it? Oh, the Media Hill. We never really finished that discussion. We got off
Media Hill. The Media Hill. I'm a big fan.
So
I think I absolutely think they will put one together. I don't think it would take that much, honestly.
So I've got to admit, I'll be transparent. My first thought is, do I even make the cut?
You should.
And if I make the cut, that'll be a huge honor. But I'm not looking. I don't think I will.
Well, you don't have to, but I'm going to go ahead and advocate for it right now. Yes, Scott needs to be on the hill. Done. There you go. Easy peasy.
Yeah, I don't.
You've been around as long as, or longer than, a lot of people that will make the hill.
Yeah, it's an interesting perspective because, you know, we do the rankings of athletes all the time. Who's gonna win this? Who's gonna win that? And we always say,
you do rankings, you do interviews. You've got another part for the heady documentary coming out. You did an entire documentary about the Masters games last year. Yeah, dude, you belong on the hill. End of story.
Fine. But I do want to say it is like a different mindset, knowing that you're going to possibly be ranked after doing tons of rankings of athletes, right? They have flipped the script on us.
Yeah, I got you.
And you know, like all the media are probably going, well, am I going to make the list? Am I going to be at the top of the mountain? Am I going to be in the middle? Am I going to be at base camp? Am I going to be like, I don't know. And it really like Seema said, like Games Mountain, it doesn't matter. It'll be subjective. Just keep doing your thing. Yeah, that's my plan. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it.
Not by any.
Like that, but it's natural to immediately think, am I gonna make it?
100%.
Like, I love what I'm doing now, and I'm not gonna stop doing it because I love it.
Nope.
And I've learned this is like the 6th, 7th year I've been doing this thing. Like, you have to do it for yourself. It doesn't matter about the numbers or anything else. You just have to do it yourself, for yourself. And I'll continue to do that, but it is natural to wonder where you're going to end up.
Of course it is. It's like going to a comp, looking at your competition beforehand and going, okay, well, put out more stuff than that guy does. I'm better at this than that guy does, blah, blah, whatever. And then kind of seeing where the cards lay out once it's over with. And old George is correct. The TEF peeps and the Brian friends of the world are on there. You're not. And that's, you got overlooked, and it's not cool.
Yeah.
I don't think you will.
Sean's asking, what's a media hill? It is something the boys interrupted have decided they're going to do a ranking of the media outlets in the CrossFit space. Just like they actually said it's a spin off, saying that it's a spin off of John's Mountain.
Yeah.
Games Mountain.
Well, it's like, look at him going, oh, y'all want to rank us athletes all the time, huh? Media? We're going to rank the media. How about that? Because they can at this point. Why wouldn't it?
Jenny, I will be interested to see what the criteria is of the hill. I'm wondering if they even say, because they don't really have to.
No, you really, really don't. And they're going to, on the mountain, John gets to talking about this person, that person, what they did here and what they didn't do here and blah, blah, whatever, and all that stuff. But like, because you have to give a reason for this person being where they are on the mountain, or because he feels like they do anyway. They don't necessarily have to do that, because like, I feel like the people who watch the space, especially if they're watching that show or the mountain, if they were doing that kind of thing on Spin Show and saying that, and Savant's here and Get With The Programming is here and Pedro's here and, Scott's here, blah, blah, whatever. People are going to want to know why. Or they're automatically going to know why because they watch the shows.
True.
Oh, Lord. Chat GPT. Thank goodness.
Yeah, he did say he was going to plug it into chat. I didn't know if that was a joke or if they were being serious.
You're gonna get ranked by AI. Thank goodness.
Cluck says they could get edgy and style it as the garbage heap. They could. My big question is, are they going to rank themselves? Do they consider themselves media now, or are they doing media as non-media in their minds.
Right. So that like where like what Jenny was saying. So where does Jenny fall? Because her show used to be on her channel and now it's on Savant's channel.
So her show was always on Savant's channel.
Well, she did her thing on the
Instagram, and
right,
then
and now it's on Savant's channel, but it's still her show.
Yeah, and it
right,
crazy views,
100%,
crazy.
100%.
Like I've never missed an episode, and I watch it at like 5 a.m. before I'm even really up. I just got up to pee, and I watch it before I go back to bed.
Imagine my surprise when I watched the last one I watched and my name came up right in the middle of it. That was a whole lot of fun.
Jeffrey asked Jenny where she got hers. Jay Birch asked Jenny where she got hers because in her post she put a list of, and she said she just rattled off the one she watches the most often.
God bless her for watching TF and Brian Friend and some of the other ones that she's got on there, because I can't, dude. I used to watch Talk Elite Fitness a lot, and then it just became the same recycled show over and over and over and over again, and I just couldn't do it anymore. And like it got so boring. And there's another one that never goes live.
I know.
So like, no, there's no way.
Thank God for 1.5. Yes. I watch so much content on 1.5.
God bless you.
You probably weren't here when we talked about it. Have you ever tried to listen to James Sprague on 1.5? I got to know if you've been able to do it. Most people I can do 1.5 easy. James turns to like 3.8 when you put him on 1.5. Yeah.
Mm-mm. There's no way. I
love can't do Jake and yawn on 1.5. I love the accents too much. I need regular speed. I agree. And I need to understand them. And so I can't do them on 1.5. I've done them 1.25 occasionally, but really they're mostly a normal speed show. All right. Now we're getting into the weeds of stuff. With that, I should probably get back to work.
Yeah, more than likely.
Because I have more meetings. More meetings and more meetings.
Meetings on meetings on meetings on meetings. It depends on who Peter's talking to.
Peter has to be slowed down sometimes.
It depends on who he's talking to and if he gets excited or not, which he rarely is excited. He's usually pretty like calm and level-headed. I still will never, ever forget when he was talking to Joshua Achama and what was talking about that Coke was perfectly fine, and just the look on his face.
That was like live in person at like Wadapalooza.
At Wadapalooza. Yeah. And he went like just the shocked look on Pedro's face was fantastic.
Jenny just rewatched it. Speaking of live, did you see TDC is going live with an affiliate interview today then 10 minutes of Q&A session after?
I did not see that. That sounds awesome.
Dang. Hopefully I won't be in a meeting and I can check that out. Alchama did not do well at the TFX squalls.
Interesting.
All right.
All these qualifiers are going on right now, and
I need to get back to work. So, knuckleheads, you know what that means. You need to get back to work too. With that, we'll see everybody tomorrow on lunch with the Clydesdale. Bye, guys.